Looking for some quick setup, fairly low mess holiday activities to do with your toddler and preschooler this year? I've got you covered. In fact, I got a little carried away this year, sharing over 11 activities, I don't even know how many, including a printable with over 40 pages to make these literally so easy to set up for you. Some of them will use household items, some of them will use the printables, so that way you don't have to craft anything yourself. It's available now for a limited time for just $1, all 40 pages. Make sure to snag that while the deal lasts. And if you guys are new here, my name's Rachel from The Confused Mom. I share baby and toddler product reviews and activities as well as Montessori at home tips. Welcome to my channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And before we jump into these holiday activities, I also want to say that each of them has a corresponding blog post. So if anything goes too fast in this video, you need to pick up a supply, you want to reference anything, all of those blog posts will be linked in the description box below. First up is going to be Feed the Reindeer, and this is where I said to snag those printables because yes, you totally can draw your own reindeer on a cardboard box, but let me tell you from doing that in my Easter activities video, it takes a minute. Decided to make it easier for you guys. Now you can just go ahead, print out that reindeer and tape it onto a shoebox. From there, you're gonna go ahead and create either cookies or carrots, whatever you wanna do. I went with cookies, and for that, you can either use a cardboard cutout, or what I did was use some leftover food container jars. And I just took some of these stickers and added them onto the cookies to act as chocolate chip. Not at all necessary, but if you have an older toddler, I would recommend it. From there, take a little X-Acto knife and just cut a mouth into the reindeer on top of the cardboard box so that the cookies will fit. Don't worry if the fit is a little snug at first, because the more times that your kid ends up doing this, the more that cardboard tends to stretch. Just make sure you push all the cookies through at least once before giving it to your kid so that you know they'll all fit. Depending on the age of your child, there's a few different ways that you can do this. If you have a young toddler, just give them the cookies or carrots and show them how to feed the reindeer, and that's great. If you have an older toddler or preschooler, what you can do is make this a game. So using a dice, you can go ahead and roll it, and there's two ways to go about this. Either when they roll a number, so say they rolled 5, they would feed the reindeer 5 cookies. The other way to go about this would be counting the chocolate chips on the cookies. So that's why I went with cookies personally. How we ended up doing it was each cookie had the same amount of chocolate chips as each side of the dice. So when she rolled a 5, we found the cookie that had 5 chocolate chips and fed the reindeer that. If your child is working on letters, you could always go ahead and do letters on the chocolate chips instead of just counting the quantities. If your child is working on colors instead of numbers or letters, all you would do is cover each side of the dice with whatever they're working on. And then you had cookies that were yellow and orange and so on. Or if it's letters, same exact concept. You cover the faces of the dice with a piece of paper that has whatever letter set they're working on, and then on those cookies you write the same matching letters. Super simple, easy to adapt for whatever your child is working on, and let me tell you, such a blast. With the printable, it takes less than 5 minutes to set up. On that same note, we're also going to feed Santa, which I have another printable for in that pack. What I've noticed with my daughter over these years of doing holiday activities with her favorite activities are always these ones where we're pushing things into feed the turkey, feed the Easter bunny, whatever it is. So I also decided to make a Santa here. And this time it's a much smaller hole, so we're working a slightly different fine motor skill here. Just like the reindeer, you're gonna go ahead, print it, tape it onto a shoebox, using an X-Acto knife, cut out the little mouth, and this time I went with some pom-poms. How you can go about this is a few different ways. You can again just give your child a bowl of pom-poms in the Santa and have them feed it. You could also, using the different colored pom-poms you have, draw out a color sequencing card and have them feed Santa in the same sequence of the dot. Or once again, you can roll a dice and whatever number it lands on, you feed Santa that many pom-poms. The next thing that we're gonna do is Montessori glue boxes. So my daughter has been super into Montessori glue paste boxes, and inside that printable holiday bundle is a few templates that you can use for this. So we have a gingerbread man, a gingerbread house, a Christmas tree, and a snowman. Print out whichever one you wanna do. You could do one a week for the whole month of December, and go ahead and set up a little glue box for your child. So really just a bunch of loose craft supplies, a little ramekin to put glue in, and a little pasting brush. So they'll dip the brush into the glue jar and then use the craft supplies in the box. And you can keep this really simple. You could do more 3D objects like buttons, or you can just cut up some random pieces of paper, tissue paper. You could use Christmas wrapping paper, like the leftover little bits, and just give it to them and let them use their own creative expression here. They're working working a fine motor skill. They're working on that pencil grip. And once again, my daughter absolutely loved this. She loves Montessori glue boxes so much. In that same note, you can use those templates I just mentioned, and what you can do is actually take a piece of contact paper, laminate them, and use those as play-doh mats as well. In this case, instead of doing a Montessori glue box, what we're doing here is creating a holiday themed play-doh kit. So as you can see, I have some green play-doh. I gave her the Christmas tree mat, and then in this little sensory box, I gave her some things to decorate her Christmas tree with. Using the little play-doh mats, it's also working a much deeper fine motor skill as they learn to cut out the shape on the play-doh mat. For younger toddlers, I wouldn't necessarily expect them to be able to trace the shape of the play-doh mat, so cutting out the shape using like a play-doh knife. It's a little bit of an advanced fine motor skill. Older preschoolers may be able to do it. Instead, what you may want to teach them to do if this is their first time using a play-doh mat is show them how to use play-doh to stick some buttons on, or to stick an ornament on, or create their own buttons and ornaments and just decorate the mat rather than do the backing of the sheet and then decorating that mold. Next up is going to be Christmas stamping, which is a nice little sensory arts and crafts project. We went ahead, I grabbed these little Christmas cookie cutters off of Amazon. I'll link them below, as well as all the craft supplies we used, which making Christmas cookies is a great activity too. And really simple, rolled out a piece of paper. I always suggest taping down your paper when working with toddlers or young preschoolers because they haven't really mastered the art of keeping the paper down and in one spot. And you're just gonna put some paint out for them. Want this on a paper plate or directly on the butcher paper, and then they'll go ahead and just stamp on the butcher paper. For older kids, you can go ahead and teach them how to then color or paint in their stamped picture. Most of these kids' paints like are washable, quick dry, so within like a couple minutes it'll be dry. Show them how they can take a little paintbrush or even a crayon or marker and color in the bell, color in the Christmas tree, and so on and so forth. So that's a nice way to extend the play for older kids. And next little group of activities all kind of go together, and they are working some STEM stuff, gross motor skills, and they are great to do if you're stuck inside this winter. The first one that I'm going to do is like the snowball and ornament winter wonderland setup. Start saving all of the inside cardboard inserts of your toilet paper rolls and your paper towel rolls. From there, you're going to want to use some plastic ornaments, so ones that ideally can't break, of different sizes. So the easiest activity for younger toddlers is going to be simply taking those ornaments, standing up those cardboard inserts, and balancing the ornaments on top. Super simple, great activity right there. You can go ahead and have them run around it, making it like a maze type of game. Super fun. I did that in my fall activities videos with apples, and we created an apple tree farm. My daughter loved it. As your child gets a little bit older, you can go ahead and take some random white pieces of paper or scrap pieces of paper and teach them how to crinkle it into a ball. So this is a really good motor skill to work on. It also is building up strength in their hands, and it's not something they typically do a lot. So as you can see, my daughter kind of struggled with getting that really formed ball shape. She kind of like gave up halfway through. So it's something to be working on. And now you have snowballs. What you're gonna do, just like the ornaments, is balance the snowballs on top of those cardboard inserts. This creates our little winter wonderland, if you will. From there, you can have a little snowball fight if you want. Depending on what you want to do in your house, I would personally suggest having your child throw their snowballs at the ones that are set up on the stands versus sitting across the room and throwing snowballs back and forth at each other, because obviously, like, I personally don't want to encourage my toddler to throw things at people inside the house. That right there is going to be two fantastic activities. But if you want to take it a step further in your winter wonderland, we are going to build a snowman and we are going to build Santa Claus. And how we are going to do this is using paper towel rolls, like the full roll, not just the cardboard insert, and toilet paper rolls. For the snowman, I suggest using a toilet paper roll for their hat if you don't have a hat that would fit. So what we're gonna do here, we can start with the hat since I'm talking about it. If you're using a toilet paper roll to DIY a hat, you're gonna wanna grab a piece of tissue paper and teach your child how to roll the toilet paper into the tissue paper, and now you have your little hat. From there, depending on the age of your child, give them craft supplies to decorate their snowman. So my daughter is on the younger side, so rather than giving her free reign for all of the craft supplies, I went ahead and in a little box set up everything she would need. So we have a couple googly eyes, we have some buttons, we have a carrot nose already cut out, and I threw in 2 scarf options. For older kids, you can give them free reign and let them run around the house trying to figure out what to use for their snowman. But I didn't want to make this too overwhelming for her. Then we just added some pieces of tape. She taped on the buttons, the carrot nose, the googly eyes, and then I helped her put the scarf on because again, she's on the younger end. And that's gonna be our snowman. For Santa, pretty similar, but this time you're gonna want 3 full paper towel rolls, 2 sheets of red tissue paper, a Santa Claus hat. Once again, for my daughter, because she's on the younger side, I prepped the different pieces she would need to create Santa's face. What I did before giving her this was I wrapped one of the paper towel rolls in the red tissue paper so that way she could see what it was we were doing. And then I had her wrap the second one, which she did pretty good with. I was really impressed with her ability to do it. And if it is a little bit advanced, instead of like taking it from your kid, just say, is it okay if mommy takes the turn now? And just go back and forth taking turns. So that's gonna be Santa's suit, the 2 paper towel rolls wrapped in red tissue paper. And then the top one is going to be Santa's head or face. So for his beard, all I did is took a piece of printer paper and cut different strands to create a beard. If you have a real beard, go ahead and use that. If you have older kids, let them come up with how they want to create Santa's beard. I had a couple of googly eyes. I just cut a little smiley face. And then once again, we went ahead and stacked it so that it didn't just look like a Santa wearing all red tissue paper. I cut out little white strips to kind of act as his jacket fur. You guys know what I'm talking about, that little jacket furry moment that goes down the middle. And that was our Santa Claus. She absolutely loved making her snowman and Santa Claus. She was so proud of them. And then once again, with the snowball towers and the ornament little towers we created, we had her run around and it was just a really fun way to spend an afternoon. Next up is going to be Magnatile Christmas trees. My kid absolutely loves Magnatile. So what I did, I had some leftover jingle bells from our holiday activity video from last year, which I will link in the description box. I showed her how to use the triangle pieces to make a Christmas tree, and then we used the jingle bells to stick onto the sides, making little Christmas trees. You could do this at the same time as the snowball and ornament winter wonderland activity to really like up-level your whole Winterland, or you can just do it on its own. Next few activities are going to be some toilet paper roll puzzles. In that holiday bundle, there are 4 templates for this. Print that out, cut them out. They are designed to fit onto toilet paper rolls. You're gonna tape them on and then just cut however many puzzle pieces you want. If you have a young toddler, I would suggest with just 2 pieces per puzzle, older, and then adding into reprinting, retaping it onto the cardboard roll, and then doing 3 puzzle pieces, and then working your way up to 4. And then using some sort of wooden dowel or even like a paper towel, if you have one of those stand-up paper towel rolls, you're just going to give them the puzzle pieces in a little basket and show them how to do this vertical puzzle. Great little activity I have on the shelf. Like I said, start with fewer pieces, working their way up. You can switch out the puzzle each day on their toy shelf if you want. Next up are going to be a couple decorate by number activities that I included in that holiday bundle. And for it, I started off really simple. A bell and a present picture here, a label, either a marker or a crayon with the corresponding number, and then show your child how to use that coloring tool with the matching number to color in that section. This is something that they're going to keep being able to build upon and fill in the picture more and more as they get older, but it's a really nice introduction to paint by number. The next activity is going to be a decorate by numbers. So once again, in that holiday printable bundle is going to be a Christmas tree and a few other variations of this, where you're going to give them either buttons or stickers or whatever and have them put the right quantity into each section. So right here we have a Christmas tree that's having my daughter put the correct number into the corresponding section. The next thing is going to be a color matching holiday printable here. All you're gonna do is give your child either, I'm using paint sticks, but you could do markers or crayons too, have them color in the different ornaments with the matching coloring tool. Super simple, super fun. Another way to do the kind of color matching is use using these dot stickers. So I have a little bulb ornament one here. Give them the stickers, give them the printable, and let them match the stickers to the ornaments. And then if you guys want to do some more sensory, like messy play, I didn't do it in this video, but I will leave tutorials for both. You can always do a foam sensory bin or an oobleck sensory bin. I have full tutorials for how to set those up in the description box below, including blog posts for them. And you'll really just grab whatever holiday themed items and use either oobleck or foam as the base. And don't forget to snag that holiday bundle before the price goes up. Right now, again, it's only $1. Get it while that lasts. If you guys go ahead and use it, I'd love to see it. Tag me on Instagram at the Confused Millennial. Inside that printable bundle, there are even more activities than what I covered today. A lot of good ones for older kids. So color and mark activities, color by number, things that my 2-year-old isn't quite ready for yet, but definitely you guys can go ahead and work up to it. It also includes matching cards, sorting cards, all sorts of good stuff is in there. So I highly recommend you check it out. It's over 40 pages long. Don't forget to hit that notification and subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. And in the meantime, check out my past holiday activity video. Check out my holiday gift guides. And as always, my name's Rachel. Have a good one.